Hello class, I hope you've had a good week so far. Today we're going to be starting chapter 11, section 1. I'm going to write right here, part 1. Okay, we're only going to do parallelograms. That's going to be what we're focusing on. And triangles will be part 2. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure you take a look at this information right here. Super important to understand. And this stuff will be for part 2. These 2 examples we'll do on Monday. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So, perimeter. We need to understand perimeter is adding all the sides. It's actually fairly simple. What we're going to do is add 20 plus 32 plus 20 plus 32. Once we do that, our answer is going to be 104 inches. Fairly simple. Just remember to add all the sides. Now, let's talk about area, because area of a parallelogram can get a little tricky. So, we have to understand that area is equal to base times height. In saying that, we have the base, it's actually 32. Now, we don't have the height yet. So first thing in parallelograms that we need to understand is that there's 2 triangles. And to be more specific, there's actually 2 right triangles. So we have our 2, let's see this. We have our 2 lengths. One of them is the hypotenuse. And those 2 are the legs. So in saying that, we need to use the Pythagorean theorem. So we'll use h squared plus 12 squared equals 20 squared. Once we simplify that, we get h squared plus 144 equals 400. Isolate the variable. We get h squared equals 256. Take the square root of both sides and you get h equals 16. So once we see that, it actually becomes a lot easier to understand, because then we just take the base times the height. And then that would equal 512 inches squared. Okay, you need to make sure that we label correctly. It's super important. All right, and then moving on to the next example. So, it says to find x. These problems are always very interesting to me because it really shows that you understand the properties of finding the area of the parallelogram. Okay, so let's get into it. So if we know that the area is 153 inches squared. First thing that I like to do is I like to just write the formula out. Area equals base times height. So we have 153 equals base 9 times height. Well, from there, if we're trying to find x, we're certainly trying to find the height. So we divide both sides by 9, and we get x equals 17 inches. All right, so those were the two examples I'm showing today. If you have any questions, please join my Zoom. Okay, the ID is given on Blackboard, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.